During my senior year of high school, I had an assignment to write a creative fictional narrative about a bus ride with a person who told a story. The first idea that came to my mind was to have a guy on the bus tell a story I had heard a long time before from my brother. I decided to use that story for the assignment, and I set out writing the tale as soon as possible. My first issue was coming up with an introduction for the setting. I thought about how to introduce the speaker, who I named Jeffrey Popper, and I considered which options would catch the audience's attention most. I decided to use a mysterious and eerie style to achieve this goal, and I quickly wrote the introduction to the assignment. My next problem was deciding how much of the tale Jeffrey should tell, and I wrote and wrote and wrote for days on end. I didn't mind the writing, though. I enjoyed coming up with fictional situations and finding solutions to these theoretical dilemmas. I used the character Jeffrey to tell a story of a man who wanted to find out what a mysterious noise was, and I told the tale from Jeffrey's perspective. After writing about the tale, I got one of my classmates to read the story I had recently finished and asked him if he could edit the story for me and see if I needed to make any additions or take out any excess writing from the story. He agreed to read and edit the paper and went on with his day. And the next day. And the next day. And the next day. I decided to ask him how the editing was coming along, and he said he hadn't had time to read the story yet. I asked him to read it that night because the final copy was due very soon, and he said he would read the paper. The next day, he came to me with it, edited and everything, and said that he liked the story. I thanked him and began to look at what he said about my paper. I didn't find many notes on it about what I needed to do to the paper to improve it, but I did find some places where he had noted that the paper could be better if I added a sentence or took out a sentence. I began editing soon after I got the paper back. When the paper was finally finished, I was tasked with reading the story to a group of my classmates and a representative from the newspaper, who said that the top 5 stories would be published on the Abilene Reporter News' website. I told the story of the Popper's tale, and everyone in the room was captivated and thoroughly enjoyed the story. I learned from this assignment that with a little bit of creativity, a writer can go a long way.